Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be checking out the entire lore of Space Marine 1, what you need to know before Space Marine 2, Warhammer 40k lore by MAJORKILL. Yes guys, I was looking up the Looten video. Some of you guys recommended that there was a Looten video about Space Marine 1. All I could find was a Space Marine 2 video, and while I believe the first half of that is about Space Marine 1, I know like near the end of it and whatnot, and I don't exactly know when the cutoff is. There was some footage from Space Marine 2, and there was I don't know if he talks about Space Marine 2 at all in it, but I didn't want any spoilers going into Space Marine 2. Obviously we've only done the first two missions, so I'm not looking for any spoilers, so I did just want to avoid that one for now. Maybe he does have a video just specifically covering Space Marine 1. If he does, if you guys are in the Discord, somebody link that to me because I couldn't seem to find it. But the only one I could find, it literally just has Space Marine 2 in the title, and I'm not looking to like spoil like the actual game of Space Marine 2 for myself. I'm just looking for some more of the in-depth lore about Space Marine 1, right? So I figure let's go to MAJORKILL. It's been a while since we've checked out him on the channel, and I really like his videos. He's got a good sense of humor about him. He usually makes me laugh, and so fuck it, I figure let's go check him out this time around. You know, he's never led us astray before, so yeah, let's see what he has in store. If you guys enjoy, leave a like, subscribe for more content from me, and leave your recommendations, of course, down in the comments below. Come join our Discord, of course. I love seeing you guys there. And yeah, big thank you to all of our members, all of our Hastati, and our Principe Dagenhart. I appreciate you, sir. You guys inspire me to make more content for you guys every single day, of course. And yeah, guys, with that, let's get right into the entire lore of Space Marine 1, what you need to know before Space Marine 2.
G'day guys and gal. With Space Marine 2 edging us extremely hard right now, being on the cusp of its highly anticipated release, I thought I may as well suck some milk from the hype cow and make some content about it.
So
the
true.
lore of the Space Marine game is surprisingly deep and solid, with great characters, cool plot twists.
It's all about that hype cow, guys.
Has no clue what the hell is going on, and just saw that a video game of armored super soldiers cutting up space bugs of death looked dope as hell. So maybe you're looking for some context, and you've come to...
And to be fair, like, again, this is, you know, I only got into Warhammer a couple months ago. That was kind of the gist, you know what I'm saying, from what I saw. I mean, I knew, like, I'd seen a Space Marine before. It's hard not to just see a Space Marine. But yeah, what more do you think of them if you don't know more about the lore? Then they're just a bunch of armored up super soldiers, you know what I mean? It's pretty accurate, you know, and yeah, I was kind of one of those people, you're not gonna lie.
Soldiers cutting up space bugs of death look dope as hell. So maybe you're looking for some context, and you've come to the right place. Before we get started, I'll be live streaming Space Marine 2 with a couple mates this Friday. We will be doing the 3-player co-op mode, so if you wanted to check out a stream which will go live before the game's official release that doesn't play through and spoil the story, then I'd love to have you join us. Stream will be around midnight my time, which is around 3 PM London time, and 10 AM New York time. You can figure it out from there. I also want to take this time to announce something pretty awesome I've been working on since the
10 AM New York time, not Eastern Standard Time.
Called Dice Dioramas. I'm keeping the details pretty low-key at the moment, but as a part of its soft launch this month, I will be giving away a 1/6 scale officially licensed Titus statue.
Wow.
Created by Weta, who are the New Zealand company that worked on The Lord of the Rings.
Holy.
The package itself weighs like 30 kilos and is a collector's item. Like, I'm not even sure how I got my hands on one, to be honest. You
really
cannot buy these at the moment. All you can do is get it on a waiting list.
Holy shit.
If this sounds interesting, then follow the link below to the Dice Dioramas website.
No, we'll look at that after. This is an older video.
Email and how you can join Diced and have the chance to win this bad boy here. There will be limited slots for the soft launch giveaway, so I would suggest you at least put your email in if you think having a 30-kilo statue of Titus would be dope. So all of you should be doing that.
Of course it would be dope.
To finally announce Diced. You guys will shit the bed when you see what we've been working on for.
Think about how good that would look on the shelf right there, guys. Like, just saying, think about how good that would go and look on the shelf right there. A 30-kilogram statue of Titus. I don't even think that shelf could hold it, honestly. I think that's only rated for like a 30-pound shelf, and 30 kilograms is like fucking 50 pounds, dude. Like 55 pounds. Well, and actually, no, it's more, isn't it? It's 2.2 pounds to a kilogram, so 30 kilograms, so it's about 70 pounds. Is that right? A 70-pound fucking Titus statue? What the fuck? That's awesome.
You guys will shit the bed when you see what we've been working on for it. Today we'll go over the lore of Space Marine 1. In doing so, we will provide context on the characters and setting for Space Marine 2, how it connects to the rest of Warhammer, if it is actually canon, and what happened between Space Marine 1 and Space Marine 2.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
That's perfect. It's exactly what we need.
The lore of Space Marine 1, some background info is necessary, as I do know that not everyone watching is a sweaty Warhammer virgin like myself and my usual viewers. In 40k, if you can't breed with it, then you should kill it, is the motto of most factions and races.
Wow.
Everyone is always killing each other.
So true, though.
Guys are the Imperium, and I say good in terms of being relative to the forces of hell, or the war-lusting orcs, or the space slugs of death that are trying to eat the entire galaxy, or the Dark Elder who want to mandate sandpaper as the official way to shave your balls. The Imperium is the largest empire in the galaxy, but it is constantly beset upon all sides by the other factions. In Space Marine 1, a valuable Forge world has come under attack by the orcs, who wish to plunder its vast resources. The world has a bunch of titans on it, god machines of the Mechanicum that are more or less walking super weapons. They are sacred and expensive, so the Imperium is not going to use this world. In most situations, the Imperium just uses their near infinite army of guardsmen to save these sorts of worlds, but due to its value, the world requested the Ultramarines' help. The Ultramarines are considered some of the most reliable and steadfast of the Imperium's warriors.
And so he didn't mention the world. And again, this is kind of going to be like the brief lore. This isn't going to be the in-depth lore. If somebody has a good in-depth lore video, again, if Luton does make it, if I'm just like interpreting his Space Marine 2 video, or if there's like a timestamp I should stop at if I don't want like spoilers for Space Marine 2 and he's just getting the Space Marine 1 lore done, somebody let me know and I'll check it up to that point. Again, I just didn't want to risk any spoilers, any like cutscenes, any like nothing like that. I just didn't want to. I don't want to see any of Space Marine 2. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see any of it at all. I want to play the game, you know? I don't want to be told any of it. I don't want to be told what happens. I don't even want it to be mentioned to me. I just want to know about Space Marine 1. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I chose this video. But if he does have a video, or if there is a timestamp I should watch up to, where he goes into like the detail of like what planet this is, you know, the specifics exactly, then absolutely link that to me. But this is obviously going to be a blanket overall, and I think that's perfect for the game, right? I mean, at the end of the day, Space Marine, you know, it's an action game. You're an Ultramarine. You don't really have to know a ton more about like the chapter or the lore of Warhammer. I'm more looking for like the lore of Titus. You know what I'm saying? Like Titus's personal, like what he's got going on, you know? Because that's what you guys tell me. That's what's important here. Because I kind of know the rest. I can kind of piece the rest together in a sense, you know? But I don't know anything about the character Titus or just like what all he's gone through. So hopefully he gets into that. I'm sure he will.
Ultramarines help. The Ultramarines being considered some of the most reliable and steadfast of the Imperium's warriors.
Of course.
Every Ultramarine is a genetically forged super soldier, 2 hearts, 3 lungs, and a lot of testosterone.
Wow.
Despite the fact that
Space Marine 1 looks good.
They are hard to kill, so make great
when this game come out?
Antagonists in the way that it's actually lore friendly for them to shrug off bullet wounds, as opposed to a game like Far Cry where you literally eat like 100 kilos of lead over the course of the game and just walk it off. You play second captain Demetrian Titus, one of the highest ranking Ultramarines, known for his dedication and resourcefulness. Your task is to get onto the planet and delay and distract the orcs for long enough to allow a large fleet of Imperial Guardsmen to arrive and clean up.
What's interesting there is Titus in the first game is a second captain, is that correct? So I don't know the exact rank structure, but obviously I do, you know, from the Canadian military, it's based off British military, and, you know, Warhammer itself is based off of like the military structure in a sense is based off the British military. So if I had to guess, second captain might be much like a second LT. So the way like the traditional, like in Canada, our military structure works, right? You have officer cadet, you have 2 LT, you have LT, and then you have captain, right? So I'm guessing second captain would be kind of like a middle rank in a sense, in between there, between LT and captain, right? You'd be a second captain, if I had to assume. And then, you know, from there, you obviously have higher ranks, major, general, what have you, right? On and on. But like, yeah, so I think that's interesting. He was actually such a high rank. He got busted down a lot being a Black Shield. I didn't realize that. Because obviously at the start, you know, I think you're just a sergeant when he's in the Death Watch. And then you get promoted instantly to 2 LT, second lieutenant. So wow, like he got bumped down really, really hard. That sucks.
The planet and delay and distract the orcs for long enough to allow a large fleet of Imperial Guardsmen to arrive and clean up. As such, you journey through the world with a small squad, slaying orcs left, right, and center, as well as taking out key various orc weapons, like a ship here or an anti-air weapons platform there. Titus even finds a hot guardswoman waifu called Mira who wants to fuck him but can't due to Titus's crippling erectile dysfunction. Titus and friends eventually find an Inquisitor called Drogon.
Man.
Inquisitors being extremely high-ranking, highly respected agents within the Imperium who undertake special special missions to protect mankind. The Inquisitor says he's made a device that, if activated, could overload the brains of all the orcs on the planet and basically holocaust their tits off, saving the world. Titus accepts this information as Inquisitors are the kinds of people who would have these kind of devices. After more trials, orc killing and tribulation, the device is activated.
So an Inquisitor set him up on that.
It opens up a shitload of portals everywhere. Titus is a bit like, okay then, a good work dipshit, but continues his mission and soon comes face to face with the orc leader, war boss Grimskull. However, before the epic showdown can commence, a legion of demons and chaos marines spew forth from the portals, led by Nemeroth, a chaos sorcerer. This is bad news. Instead of an orc invasion...
So, okay, so I'm starting to kind of see how Titus, like, was branded a heretic in a sense, or he was branded being traitorous in a way. But also it's kind of fucked. An Inquisitor set him up to do that, you know? An Inquisitor set him up to do that. Maybe drastic measures, you know, we got to kill these orcs, drastic measures, but now you got fucking chaos demons on your planet. Holy shit. Opened up warp portals right on the planet doing that. And it clearly didn't kill the orcs either, so fuck me. What a misstep.
Led by Nemeroth, a chaos sorcerer. This is bad news. Instead of an orc invasion which could capture the planet's resources, a chaos invasion could turn the planet into a demon world, creating a massive problem for the Imperium for obvious reasons. It turns out Inquisitor Drogan was a pawn of chaos and manipulated helping chaos invade the world. To be fair to the Inquisitor, he didn't do this willingly. He had been killed and then his corpse resurrected as a puppet of chaos, which makes more sense than an Inquisitor falling to chaos.
I see.
Grimskull, pissed off by chaos interrupting a perfectly good scrap,
literally
Nemeroth, allowing Titus and friends to escape and continue their mission. It becomes clear that for some reason, Titus shows an immense resistance to chaos or psychic power, indicating that he himself might have psychic powers of some kind, a trait often viewed with suspicion. One of his squadmates, Leandros, expresses his concerns, but is told to shut the fuck up, because they have more pressing matters. As they journey to try to destroy the device that opened up the portals, Grimskull catches up with Titus and the two finally get their showdown.
Wait, whoa. So, hold up. So Grimskull fights that demon lord that came through the warp. Did he win? If he's like catching up to Titus, or did they just like break apart and not finish the fight? Or did Grimskull actually just beat his ass to a pulp right there? Like, what the fuck? Grimskull wants Titus. He's just like, he wants to fight, man. He's an orc. He wants a good duel. That motherfucker interrupted it. He had ultimate rage, and now he's still coming for Titus. That's my headcanon. Maybe it'll be explained.
But is told to shut the fuck up, because they have more pressing matters. As they journey to try to destroy the device that opened up the portals, Grimskull catches up with Titus and the two finally get their showdown. Titus, being the protagonist, ends up blowing Grimskull's head to pieces, breaking the orc leadership and leaving Chaos as the big bad for the rest of the game. Titus and friends move on and manage to power up an experimental titan and use it to blow up the source of the warp portals, closing them down. However, there was still a shitload of demons and chaos marines on the planet to deal with.
An experimental titan.
Titus and friends and kills one of them, before proclaiming he will become a demon prince and ascending to the obscene power. Often whenever a servant of chaos proves themselves, the chaos gods will reward them with immortality via ascension to become a demon prince. If Nemeroth was to take the strange device and turn the world into a demon world, that would be considered good enough for ascension. Titus vows to kill the Chaos Champion before that happens, and he goes on a rampage, getting help from some Bloodraven Space Marines as well as more Ultramarines.
So just to pause there real quick, that experimental titan, would that happen to be a Psi Titan by chance? Because I know that's like, in terms of experimental, that's like, that's what they got going for them. Perhaps not. Perhaps it's just a modified Titan in a sense, but I thought due to like STCs and whatnot, I thought they couldn't. They were pretty like strict with how they built their Titans. Like they really have to like kind of stick to that blueprint in a sense because of their STC limitations. Perhaps that's wrong. Maybe I'm just confused on that. But somebody let me know for sure.
And he goes on a rampage, getting help from some Bloodraven Space Marines as well as more Ultramarines. He fights his way to Nemeroth and the two punch on. Titus using his innate resistance to the warp to survive Nemeroth's bullshit hack attacks. After a good clobbering, Nemeroth has his brain smashed out like a bitch, breaking Chaos's grip on the world and saving it from a pretty terrible fate. Titus has saved the day, but because this is Warhammer, we aren't allowed a happy ending. As Titus is having his wounds attended to, an Inquisitor Thrax arrives on planet. It turns out that Leandros had reported Titus for heresy, as his seeming resistance to the warp was suspicious and could be interpreted as Titus already being corrupted and just hiding it. Although the chain of command in the Imperium is an absolute mess, the Inquisition is second only to the Primarchs, Custodes, and Emperor in terms of authority. Thus, Titus, a man of honor, allows himself to be taken into custody without issue in order to prevent his warriors from also being accused of heresy. He roasts the shit out of Leandros first though, because Leandros is a little fucking bitch. Unfortunately for Titus, Inquisitor Thrax is one of those fuckhead bitch-ass cock-looking Inquisitors who let their ego lead them. Thrax had a vendetta against Space Marines, so he tortured Titus, and when Titus...
Interesting. So Leandros really fucked him over there. So he saw him as like having an innate resistance. Like, that's so fucked up though, because that's still such a like a fucking blade maneuver to do, because like you just saw him kill this demon, not even a demon prince, but I guess this demon champion would be the correct word for it. And while, yeah, I mean, that isn't necessarily approving that he isn't himself corrupted, it's like he's been fighting pretty tooth and nail to like keep this shit on the on. And like, you know, you've been with him this entire time, I'm assuming, or most of it. You know, have you noticed anything suspicious, like anything to base your claims off of other than like this resistance? Or, you know, is that literally all you have? And I understand the suspicion in a sense. But like, also, this is your battle brother. Like, this is a fellow Astartes. Like, you can't just be fucking blading like that, as openly as you are. It's kind of radical to me. And wow, I guess Titus gets fucking tortured because of it.
Titus, Inquisitor Thrax is one of those fuckhead bitch-ass cock-looking Inquisitors who let their ego lead them. Thrax had a vendetta against Space Marines, so he tortured Titus, and when Titus maintained his loyalty and never broke, Thrax put him in stasis and left him there for nearly a century. Fortunately, Thrax would get possessed by a demon and killed by the Grey Knights during a mission, which are the Imperial Special Demon Hunter Space Marines, so Thrax's possessions were raided to determine if he was an agent of chaos. During this raid, they discovered Titus, as well as other Space Marines, and unfroze them. Unsure if these Marines should have been incarcerated or not, especially since most of their records had been struck and buried, they gave them over to the Death Watch.
Interesting. So that's actually so fucking cool, because like, you know, he could have fallen to chaos himself. Sure, maybe he did, maybe he didn't, whatever, but he's dead. The Grey Knights get there, they see all these Astartes locked away, they're like, shit, maybe there was a reason to have them locked away, but maybe not. Like, this guy could have just been corrupted, and these are just good battle brothers that have been tortured and locked in stasis. We can't be sure. Let's send them to the Death Guard. Is that kind of where this is? And again, the bureaucracy of the Imperium, they struck all the records, so there's no way to be sure. That's why you don't strike your records, guys. I'm just saying, holy shit. What a mess that way. Holy shit.
Not, especially since most of
Sorry, we lost his rap sheet, unfortunately.
They gave them over to the Death Watch, a special forces of Space Marines dedicated to the eradication of Xeno threats, where Titus was deemed pure and loyal. Titus was depressed to discover that all records of him in the Ultramarine chapter were expunged, so thinking himself a failure and embarrassment, he forsook his chapter and became a Black Shield, serving in the Death Watch. During a hectic mission, his squad was slain and he himself was mortally wounded when fighting against a Tyranid force, Titus personally slaying a Carnifex. As he was dying, his mighty and noble soul was detected by Tigurius, the chief wizard of the Ultramarines, who directed the ship to where Titus was. He was shocked to see Titus, his old friend, and they worked their ass off to save him, putting him through the surgery to make him a Primaris Marine, as that was the only way to save him. They succeeded. Titus lived and was stronger than ever. Titus asked about his shame and why he was removed from the Ultramarines records, to which he was told that the Ultramarines worked extremely hard to try get the Inquisition to return him. A second captain being taken into custody for heresy, especially the second captain of the Ultramarines, was a massive deal. Kalgar, the chapter master of the Ultramarines, was so distraught and ashamed of losing Titus that he removed him from the Ultramarine records, as it was such a painful reminder of his failure. However, now that Titus was back, he was reinstated within the Ultramarine chapter with full honors and recognition. The only issue was now that Cato Sicarius was second company captain. Titus could not just take the role back, so he was given the role of Primaris Lieutenant. In his new role, Titus once again takes the fight to the enemy, setting the scene for Space Marine 2. Overall, pretty fucking dope lore, but there is still more for us to discuss. Is the Space Marine franchise canon to the overall lore of 40k?
So interesting that all that is explained at the end of Space Marine 1. And I guess Space Marine 2, it's just kind of like the start mission, like the tutorial level, I guess, is almost kind of like a recap. You know, and then after you get back to the ship, you talk with the chapter master there, and then he explains everything to you, and that's kind of where it picks up on Space Marine 2. I guess the rest is kind of like a recap in a sense. which is very, very interesting that it explained it beforehand. It kind of set it up before Space Marine 2 even came out. That's really cool.
More for us to discuss. Is the Space Marine franchise canon to the overall lore of 40k? Well, yes, but it's complicated. Originally, Space Marine 1 was not canon, as around that time, many video game adaptations liked making non-canon works so that they could twist and bend the source material to their own devices without pissing off fans of the original canon. The biggest canon conflict in Space Marine 1 was that Titus was second company captain. However, in actual canon, that role went to Sicarius. However, in recent times, making video games or TV shows of franchises canon slaps hard. For example, the Fallout show. So they wanted to make Titus and the Space Marine
yes and no.
To do this, they said...
And again, if you guys watch my Fallout whip videos, you'll know why. So that's all I'm going to say. I had some thoughts on that I spilled in that video about my thoughts on the Fallout show, why I believe... I have no problem with it. I think the show is good, but I don't believe it should hold the same canonization as the games. Just with the decisions that Bethesda has been making recently, along with now decisions supported by other media such as the show, I believe it's a mistake in my personal mind. I go a little bit more into detail on it in that Fallout whip video. If you guys are interested, go check that out.
The Fallout show. So they wanted to make Titus and the Space Marine games canon. To do this, they set Space Marine 1 over a century before the current setting, making Titus the second company captain before Cato, and that Titus's disappearance left the slot open. A pretty solid way to make it canon in my opinion. That plus there is now a Titus tabletop model ensures that he is truly canon. By extension, this also makes the new game Bolt Gun canon, as Malum Cato often invokes Titus's name and uses his chainsword. Plus, it's set on the same planet as the first Space Marine game and has numerous references. So yes, Malum Cato being as powerful as a Primarch is canon as well. Do with that information what you will. So where does that leave us for Space Marine 2? Well, we will be fighting the Tyranids as they invade an Imperial world, and then at some point, the Thousand Sons get involved. So it does seem to follow a similar path to Space Marine 1, that being fight Xenos and then fight Chaos. One thing is certain though, it looks fun as fuck. I'm just keen to finally kick Leandros' snitching ass. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then sign up to the Dice Dioramas landing page, especially if you want to have a chance to win the gigantic Titus statue.
What a great fucking video that was.
More Space Marine content. Join the Discord for more memes and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Again, not like a super in-depth lore video, but... Oh, what's this? Want to see more? Okay, not a super in-depth lore video, but literally enough just to get you like familiar with the first game, the happenings of it. And again, if you're not brand new to the lore, which I'm not, I like to think I'm pretty new, but doing this a few months, I've learned quite a lot. I feel like that's more than enough to pick up and like just simply play the game from there on out. You know, like you kind of know a little bit more about Titus's character, what happened to him, why he was in the position that he was in. And why he was a Black Shield. Also learning that he has kind of a natural resistance, that he might be a bit of a psyker in a sense. That's also very cool. And Leandros, I don't think we've met Leandros yet in Space Marine 2. Maybe he'll come in later, or maybe he's dead. Hopefully he's dead. Fucking little rat, but like, goddamn. No, I thought that was a super good video. Came out 6 months ago. Didn't spoil anything from Space Marine 2, and I thought that was amazing. So if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe for more content from me, and of course, leave your recommendations down in the comments below. You know, big shout out to all of our members, all the Hastati and our Principe Dagenhart. I appreciate you, sir. You guys inspire me to make more content for you guys every single day. Big shout out to MAJORKILL. This was a fantastic video, a great lore video, just to explain the happenings of Space Marine 1 and getting you ready for Space Marine 2. Again, a lot of you guys recommended that I check out a video like this before I get too deep into Space Marine 2, just so I know a little bit more about Titus as a character. So that's what I was going to do today. I told you guys that, so that's what I was going to do. So yeah, guys, without any further delay, this has been Centurion, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys.